Hey everybody, this is Todd Hazelton with MobileBurn.com, and today we're going to check out the Sony Ericsson Xperia X10. It's a new Android 1.6 smartphone on AT&T. Got the box right here. It's retailing for $149.99 with a 2-year contract, and it has a custom user interface, timescape, mediascape, a bunch of cool things we'll check out, and I'll walk you through it. Quickly look at the box and we'll get started here. Move around, you can see it says it comes with a battery, charger, micro USB cable, a 2 GB micro SD card, 3.5mm headset, and a quick start guide. Our unit here actually doesn't have the headset, but you can expect it in your box. Around the back, we have the Android OS. I believe it's 1.5 or 1.6. Not 2, not 2.1, and not 2.2. So that's a little stale feeling, but we'll get into that in a bit. Here we have Wi-Fi support for BG, and as well as for the AT&T hotspots. 8.1 megapixel camera. We'll go through that. Stereo, Bluetooth. And some of the unique features here, timescape and mediascape, are part of Sony Ericsson's custom user interface, so we'll check that out in just a bit. Going through the box, here's the aforementioned quick start guide. It's the phone itself, which we'll go over in just a sec. Here we have the micro USB cable, which I just put back in the box there, micro USB, and that plugs in here, the AC adapters, so you can use it for plugging into your computer or directly into the wall. Alright, let's get the phone booted up and we'll talk about it a bit more. Okay, here's the Xperia X10 up close. Move around the unit really quickly. You have a 4-inch touchscreen up front. Here's the 8.1 megapixel camera with autofocus and LED flash. Here you can see the AT&T logo. Camera quick launch button, volume toggle keys, 3.5mm headphone jack up top, power button, and this is the hatch for the micro USB port there. Pretty easy to remove. Not much on the bottom, looks like a little keychain hanger there. Pop off the back cover. Sort of have to get it at an angle up here. See, the SIM card comes with a 2 GB micro SD card, and here you have the 1500 milliamp hour battery. Plastic cover snaps on quite easily. Now let's go through some of the software features here. Okay, so as I said earlier, it runs. This is running Android 1.6. Most phones these days are at 2.1, hopefully 2.2 when they're coming out on the market right now. We're expecting the 2.2 upgrade. So some of it feels a bit stale despite this custom user interface. You can see it's nothing like you've seen before in terms of Android. That's because Sony Ericsson created itself. You have 3 home screens here to customize. That's not much considering most are offering 5 or more. And then up top we have some of the popular social networks. This is Twitter going right there, but we also have Facebook that can work with as well, and that's called Timescape. Click that, and it brings up this fancy user interface with the most recent tweets, messages, direct messages, etc. Click one. Here we have Michelle Orrell, our managing editor. Click that little infinite button, and it'll show that we can add her as a contact. If we had her as a contact, it would show other information, text messages, stuff like that we've had with her. And here we have sort of her image, but it's a bit blurry, hard to see. On camera it looks okay, I can tell, but up close it's really kind of distorted. Go back to Timescape. Check out another one here. So if we wanted to add them as a contact, then click Create New Contact. Add their first and last name, add a custom photo if we wanted to. Also add a phone number, a home phone, a ringtone. And choose to send calls directly to voicemail. Link the contact, and this is where we could link it to Facebook or Twitter. Or add other fields. So we can add email, IM, postal address. Now you can actually see. some sluggishness here. I wanted to go back. You can see before when we were here this wasn't there, but now all of a sudden we have all the latest tweets. So looks like it takes some time for that to upload, or update rather. I forgot to show you also on the bottom, go to info, here it says most recent tweet, my photos, should we have photos of that contact. And then back to the phone book. Some of this can kind of get a little iffy. I feel like I'm bouncing around. I thought I was in Twitter and then it sort of switched to the contact. Before we didn't see the most recent updates, now we did. But the user interface is nice to use. At the bottom here, you can switch over to Facebook, have most recent updates from friends there. Back to Twitter. This is if we had recently played music, it would display lists there. Here are my most recent photos. You can see I'm using this little thumbnail on the bottom to switch between them. Click to photo. See what happens when we click the infinite button there. Okay, so it's just showing a preview of that photo. This would show accounts for email messages, missed calls, and here we are back at everything. So mostly just Twitter, since that's the feed that's going through the most here. Okay, what makes this different from the Xperia X10 in Europe is there's some included AT&T applications, such as AT&T Navigator for turn-by-turn directions, AT&T Hotspots, AT&T Maps, AT&T Family, Office Suite for opening Office files. You can see that right there. Mobile banking, also included by AT&T. Finally, there's work email. That adds the full Exchange support that you wouldn't have gotten with Android 1.6. So here you go. You configure your account here, and it's powered by FutureDial. So that's a nice feature that Sony Ericsson added that you'd expect in a newer Android version, but at least you have that here. There is that AT&T Navigator, but that's powered by Telenav, and that'll set you back $9.99 a month. You don't get the free navigation that you would have with newer Android operating systems with Google Navigation. So that's another sort of setback, but at $149, $49.99, you get some trade-offs there, namely the price. Mediascape is another feature here. Here we have photos. These are the recently taken photos of the 8.1 megapixel camera off my deck. They look pretty good to me so far. It's hard to see maybe on camera here, but in the background the clouds and the blue sky are still, you can still make them out. It's not just kind of fading. A lot of times when you have a bright sunny day, the white sort of fades in the buildings, but looks pretty solid there, if a little unsaturated. But here's some videos. Looks real nice on the full screen here. Speakers sound loud enough to me, but we'll check that out again in just a second with music. See if, okay, looks like we can only view that in vertical mode. Okay, so right now we're playing a song. Turn it down. Right now we're playing a song, and what makes this unique is that if we click this infinite button again, sort of like we have in the social network things, on the bottom we have what's on the memory card, but we can also search YouTube and automatically bring in videos that might be there from this artist. So here we have the fast forwards, and these are YouTube videos automatically linked for us from that artist. So if you have a bunch of albums on your micro SD card for music you like, and you want to quickly play a music video for one of the songs, you can do that. Here we're just using 3G, and I'm not using my Wi-Fi network, so it seems to be taking a bit of time. Okay, so this is one of those YouTube videos. It's just the song, it appears, not quite the video, but it's there and linked anyway. One thing I do like about this phone, I've been used it for a bit now, is this these lights down here for the notifications. A couple of the Android phones I've used recently on AT&T, namely the Captivate from Samsung, doesn't have any notification lights, and I like that this one does. You can kind of see when you have something you've missed. Let's see if we've missed anything else here. I'll show you the web browser, although we've gone through this in our initial hands-on with the device. Keyboard's nice. Sony Ericsson said that they worked on that when I met with them. It's a little bigger than this. Whoop. A little hard to type on over the camera here. So quick to load our mobile site. Now we'll go to the full HTML one. About 3 bars of 3G signal up there. Alright. Easy to pan around the site. It's got a 1 gigahertz processor in it, Qualcomm Snapdragon, so everything's loading just fine. Zooming like this. Oh, no multi-touch zoom, another setback with this as opposed to newer Android devices. So, that's a quick look at the web browser here. I'll go back to the home screen. That's also a quick look at the Xperia X10 from AT&T and Sony Ericsson. It's on sale now for $149.99 with a 2-year contract. And this is Todd Hazelton with MobileBurn.com.